while I read you some facts. 501 fascinating facts. Rats can survive without water longer than camels. The sailfish can swim faster than a horse can gallop. The smallest known fish is the Pandaka pygmy, about the size of an ant and almost transparent. Men traveling through dense tropical forests often collect fireflies in jars and use them as lanterns, while women in Cuba and other tropical countries pin live fireflies on their gowns or hang them around their necks on chains as decorations. The most widely cultivated fruit in the world is the apple. The second is the pear. In the 1920s and 1930s, Charlie Chaplin was probably the most celebrated man in the world. On a visit to his native London, the motion picture comedian received 73,000 letters in just 2 days. There is a butterfly found in Brazil that has the smell and color of chocolate. Neutron bomb is a nuclear weapon which kills people by radiation, even inside armored vehicles, but leaves behind buildings, etc. intact. Plasma is a gas free of whole molecules and atoms and contains only ions and electrons. We blink our eyes once every 6 seconds. In the course of a lifetime, we blink about 250 million times. A dwarf 18 inches high served as a captain of cavalry in the British Army. He was Geoffrey Hudson and lived from 1619 to 1692. Girls tend to sleep more soundly than boys. The elephant is the only animal that has been taught to stand on its head. Cute. The rarest disease in the world, called Kuru or laughing sickness, affects only the cannibals of New Guinea and is believed to be caused by eating human brains. If a rope were made out of strands of long hair, it would be strong enough to lift an automobile. Suckerfish is nature's hitchhiker. The upper fin of this fish is modified to form a complicated suction pad on the top of the head. The suckerfish attaches itself by means of its sucker to any passing turtle or shark or any large fish, merely to get a free ride and in the hope of sharing a meal at the end of the journey. The hottest place in the world is Dalal, Ethiopia, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, which has hardly any seasonal relief from high temperatures. Perhaps he thought it was John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. Most people do, but the busiest airport in the entire world is Chicago International Airport, also called O'Hare Field. At O'Hare, planes take off and land every 42.5 seconds round the clock. That means 85 takeoffs and landings every hour, 2,036 every day, 14,255 every week, and 741,272 every year. Your brain will stop growing in size when you are about 15 years old. If the liver ever stops working, a person will die within 8 to 24 hours. No one knows why, but more men than women are colorblind. About 8 out of every 200 men, as compared to 1 out of every 200 women. The human heart pumps 1.5 million gallons of blood a year. In the state of Minnesota, it's against the law to hang male and female underwear on the same washing line. During an 8-hour sleep, most people have from 3 to 5 dreams, each lasting from 10 to 30 minutes, and they are in color. The shortest human being was a Dutch midget called Princess Pauline, who at the age of 12 was only 23.2 inches tall, or only 3 to 5 inches taller than a newborn baby. One psychological study has revealed that women talk about men 3 times as often as men talk about women. The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body and vice versa. An average person drinks about 16,000 gallons of water during his lifetime. A sound wave travels through the air at more than 300 meters per second, or 1,100 kilometers per hour. Some jet-propelled airplanes far exceed the velocity of sound. In water, sound travels roughly 5 times as fast as in the air. The velocity of a sound wave in water is about 1,500 meters per second, or 5,400 kilometers per hour. So far, no man-made apparatus, with the exception of rockets, has attained this velocity. A full moon is 9 times brighter than a half moon. It takes about 48 hours for your body to completely digest the food from one meal. Stuttering is 4 to 6 times more common in boys than in girls. The world's most popular hobby is stamp collecting. This is a very old book. I'm pretty sure I bought this book when I was a child, or this book was bought for me. The nerve system and the human brain has a greater number of possible connections than there would be in a unilateral telephone exchange that provided one line to every person living on Earth. A snail can travel over a razor blade without cutting itself. "96% of babies arrive at times different from those predicted by the medical profession." Our height varies not only with years of our life, but in the course of every day. It is greatest when we get up in the morning and after the night's rest. Between morning and evening, it generally shrinks about 3/4 of an inch, sometimes even more. If we have done much walking during the day, our height may shrink as much as 2 or 3/4 of an inch. This is due to compression of the cartilage in our spine. The average light bulb can last for about 750 to 1,000 hours. 1 ton of uranium, 1 ton of uranium produces the same amount of energy as 30,000 tons of coal. The Great Barrier Reef of Australia is actually the world's longest string of coral islands, more than 1,250 miles long. The plover, a small bird, lives on a crocodile's body and even struts into the reptile's mouth to perform its valuable service, that of pecking leeches from the crocodile's gums and cleaning its teeth. The crocodile seems so grateful to the tiny plover that it never harms the small bird. That's cute. Aww. Heat is better retained in moist air than in dry air, which is why tropical nights are warm and desert nights cold. Russian scientists estimate that Lake Bask, Unchak, could supply the whole world with salt for over 2,000 years. Pardon my mispronunciation of different words throughout this reading. Most people move about 40 times in their sleep during the night. Insomniacs may move as many as 70 times. Some of the most powerful flying fish have been seen jumping clear over the decks of small ships. The Swedes are the world's greatest coffee drinkers and consume over 29 pounds of coffee per person a year. Smart bombs are highly accurate guided bombs whose accuracy was demonstrated both in the Vietnam and Middle East wars. A single bomb can destroy a difficult target. A diamond is a piece of pure carbon, just as is soot in the chimney, but in crystal form. It is 80 times as hard as the next hardest substance, which is corundum. The largest recorded single hailstone fell at Coffeyville, Kansas on September 3rd, 1970, and weighed 1.67 pounds. It measured 7.5 in diameter and 17.5 in circumference. When photographed in the hands of the two boys who found it, it could have been as big as 8 inches in diameter when first picked up. The clock tower that supports the famous clock Big Ben at the House of Parliament in London is 320 feet high. The bell from which the clock gets its name weighs 13.5 tons. Magnetic North is 1,500 miles west of the North Pole. The North Pole is 2,799 meters lower than the South Pole. If all the oceans on Earth dried up, the rock salt remaining would be enough to build a wall a mile thick and 18 miles high all around the equator. The largest magnet in the world is the Earth itself, because the hot nickel and iron at its core pull everything towards it. The Earth is currently inhabited by 1.4 million species of animals and 500,000 species of plants. Do you know that cuttlefish has 3 hearts, 2 of which are placed at the base of gills, and third is the central heart? There are 206 bones in the human body. The Greek philosopher, oh my god, I'm so sorry for the pronunciation, Thales, is the first man to ask the question of what is the universe made, and to answer without introducing gods or demons. In later centuries, when the Greek gods made up list of the 7 wise men, Thales invariably was placed first. The Red Sea is the warmest and saltiest of all the seas. No rivers empty into it. It is surrounded by parched land and is continually evaporating. Its salt content is 43 to 46 grams per milligram. I think I'm going to stop here, but maybe I'll read more facts out of this book another time. Hope you're relaxed and we're asleep. Good night.